I welcome you to our amazing community where we are teaching tax professionals, accountants, and bookkeepers how to automate and create workflows to transform their small practices into businesses that are profitable, provide time freedom, and most importantly, give your clients an excellent experience. Actually, not most importantly. I think your freedom is most important, so I'm going to back that statement up. If we haven't had the chance to meet yet, I'm Jamie Gruol, and after helping over 500 tax and accounting practices implement automation with TaxDome, I can confidently say that automation is the only way to increase your profit and time freedom in your practice. In this video, I'm excited to talk about 2025, and I want to give you the 3 shifts in your practice that you can make right now that can transform the way your 2025 goes. I hear from tax professionals all the time about how frustrated they are in the way that business is going. There's people that are wanting to burn it all down. They want to quit. They want to sell their business, fire sale, like just get rid of these clients because they're not happy with the way their business is operating. And in this video, I want to show you 3 shifts that will transform the way you operate, giving you more profit, more time freedom, and a great client experience that's going to make life easier, more enjoyable. You're going to actually have a life again. And we're going to do that through systems. Now, I am Jamie Gruol. I am the co-founder of Workflows for Tax Pros, and I have spent thousands and thousands of hours working with small practices, over 800 practices at this point, setting up TaxDome in their practices to help them create more efficiency, more organization, get rid of all that manual administrative work that they're currently doing, centralize their operations into one tool, and help them to build a cohesive system to operate their business from. And what we do as a result is we get people more capacity for more clients if that's what they want. We give people their time back. We save people on average 10 hours a week at minimum per team member. So it can be a whole lot more than that over time. And what you're going to find with having systems is you're going to do 3 things. One, you're going to standardize your workflows. It's going to help you see through the chaos that you currently are living in, and it's going to help you provide a better service. You're going to have a better client experience. Your clients are going to have technology supporting them through TaxDome that's going to give them a simple client portal that's going to make it easy for them to get you documents. We're going to talk about all of that today. So why don't we dig in and go into the good stuff here? Because I know y'all are here to see what's possible, and that's what we love to bring you here. So let me get myself set up. I'm going to share my screen. So let's talk about the 3 shifts that are going to transform your practice in 2025. Now, before I get into these shifts, I want for you to take a moment and just sit with, what do you want your 2025 to be like? Now, I know in my own life, if I don't slow down to intentionally set a vision for what I want, nothing changes. Now, a quick story on that. In 2022, my husband and I owned a small farm in Bend, Oregon, and we kind of came to the terms that it was time for us to look for another place to call home. And we started looking around, but we didn't really have a vision for exactly what we wanted. And we didn't have an intentional vision, I will say. And so we started looking around in the safe space, right? Like we looked around our community. We were looking at homes in the general area that we were in, maybe going back to my hometown. We were located and based in Oregon at that time. And then we really sat with ourselves and created an intentional list of what we wanted. And we identified exactly what we wanted. We wanted to live somewhere that was rural, somewhere not so rural that we couldn't get to an airport within an hour, but we knew we wanted to be in the mountains. We love nature. We wanted to be close to skiing and mountain biking because that's important to us. We wanted to have a small community that was tight-knit and there for each other. And we wanted to be somewhere where there was water, but not too much water where it felt like we were always like in Oregon, we have some very wet areas. And we didn't want to be there because we had been in the desert. And so we started looking around the Northwest, and then someone threw out the idea, well, what about Vermont? And we were like, oh, okay, well, that's a new idea. But we lined up our vision and checked the boxes of what we were looking for versus what Vermont had to offer. It had the mountains, it had the rain, it had the sun, it had the snow, it had the mountain biking, it had the small town feel that we wanted, it had the agriculture that we love to support, the local agriculture. There were so many things that Vermont brought us that were on our vision, and therefore we knew that we could go and check it out. And we were like, we're just going to check it out, right? And so that was in October 2022. Well, as soon as we set foot in Vermont, we were like, this is where we're meant to be. And then all of the synchronicities of life started happening. We took action, and then things just started falling into place. We got our house remodeled. We put our house up for sale. We got the house offer in. The day we got the offer in, we got a rental here so we could move across the country without having to buy a house sight unseen. There were just so many things. And now today we have the vision of the life that we wanted to live. And you can do that in not only your life, but in your business too. So I want for you to take that story and kind of look back over time and say, have I been intentionally creating my business? And the chances are that the answer is no. So I want for you to think about how you can potentially step into your vision in 2025. Okay, so I digress. I love sharing those types of stories because they inspire me. Hopefully that inspires you to take a few minutes today to jot down what you want your 2025 to look like and intentionally set that vision for your business, for your life, and we can help get you the systems to help you get there. All right, so let's talk about shift number one. What if we could have a more profit-driven business based off of systems? One of the biggest challenges that so many people talk about is that they are at capacity. They cannot serve any more clients. They feel like they can't raise their prices too much because this economy is kind of rough. They don't want to lose their clients. And so what if we could actually create higher margins with less stress? Wouldn't that be a beautiful thing? Well, this can be done by increasing your client capacity, by automating those routine administrative tasks, the things that you do over and over that are managing two different systems where you have your documents living in one section and you have or one tool and you have your signatures living in another tool. And to get the information from one to the other, there's like 3 steps or 4 steps or clicks or follow-ups. What if we could say goodbye to all of that? Right? Like that's where we start gaining efficiency and building more capacity to have more paying clients, is by offloading and delegating this administrative stuff off to our systems. And so the things that can help with this is automated workflows and setting up these standardized automated workflows that provide an excellent client experience that allow you to not have to hire more people to have more capacity in your practice. So for you solo practitioners or somebody with just an assistant, this is an excellent way to build more capacity. If you are somebody that's looking to scale, doing this and slowly building your capacity and then next year hiring somebody in so you can then take the next leap, but have it done on the foundation of solid systems, excellent, excellent opportunity for you. So I want to show you today how we can improve the client document collection. Now I'm going to do it through the lens of tax preparation because I know that's on everybody's mind right now. How can I reduce this painful process of getting my clients to get the documents that I need to them? So I'm currently showing my screen here in TaxDome. This is my client job for tax preparation. This is my client, Jenny. And in TaxDome, we have these beautiful job cards. And these job cards are kind of like the old school folders that used to get passed around with a face sheet inside them that had a checklist of all the things you needed to get done, or that spreadsheet in your Excel documents that had all your clients listed down the first column, and then you had all of the steps of the process and everybody was responsible for going in and manually checking it off. Well, this is your new way of managing the individual tax prep job for, say, Jenny. And so what TaxDome does is, because we're leaning into automation and we're leaning into the practice management tool, we're able to collect all of our information here. So we can collect all of the chats that we sent to Jenny during tax season. We can collect all of the organizers that we sent to Jenny during tax season, the invoices, the tasks that get assigned out to my team to have them go and complete their portion of the process. All of these pieces get collected into this job card, and it gives us all the information we need, ability to communicate amongst team members without actually having to communicate or talk about something. I can see the start date, the due date, all of my information is kept here. And one of the biggest things, as I mentioned, is the gathering of information. And that is how we can do in TaxDome, how we can do that is through our organizers. And so at Workflows for Tax Pros, now we have done all of this work for you. We have created all of the templates. And when you join our program and get our signature pipelines, you get all of this. So everything I'm going to show you today is included in our program. And if you want more details on that, you can find the link below the video, or you can always reach out to me in the DMs or emailing us at our email address below the video as well, hello@workflowsfortaxpros.com. Okay, so let's dive in. So I want to show you first. Let me find my organizer here. I had it all pulled up. Here we go. So this is an organizer. This is the client view into the organizer. So when they log in, they're going to have a little bit of instructions. We always want to be guiding our clients to success, giving them the instructions that they need. TaxDome allows us to do that in a consistent, standardized way, so everybody gets the same information. We can always improve our communication as we go along through the tax season. If we see something's not working, don't you worry, you can always update it along tax season. So you're not having to wait till next year to be like, I just can't do it that way again. That just didn't work for me. We get to improve it. And especially in our organizers, it's a great opportunity, especially if you're seeing a specific form being missed. You can ask for everybody that hasn't gotten the organizer yet. You can gather it from them, so you're not having to go back and ask for that. One of the big areas that a lot of tax professionals aren't thinking about is the required due diligence. We can actually work that into our organizers. The way that we provide organizers is that these are interview-based, asynchronous interviews. So not when you have to schedule a call, but it's an interview for your clients about their tax season or their tax year, about their life and the things that happened in that tax year. So we're able to ask these details and then probe further if we need to. So for example, around due diligence, I can ask my clients, do you or your spouse, will you claim any other dependents on your tax return? If they have children, they're going to say yes, right? So if they say yes, then I can ask more questions. But if they say no, they get a very simple return. They don't have to answer these questions. So what TaxDome Organizer allows you to do is probe deeper depending on the answers your clients are giving you in the organizer based on their actual life. So if they have a very simple life, just a standard W-2, maybe a 1098 for their mortgage, they're going to have a very simple organizer. If they're a more complex person with, say, a side business, and they are going to need a Schedule C or a Schedule E because they own a rental property, we can then ask them the details about all of that. Every year, getting the most current details, the most current information, the most current documents, and making sure that our records are always correct. What this does is it allows us to touch the return less. It reduces the amount of back and forth that we have with our clients, and it allows us to make sure that we are providing our clients with thoughtful tools that don't feel like we're having them do the data entry for us, right? That is something I hear from a lot of people. They're like, well, if I'm going to use tools, then why would my clients ever work with me? Because you're the professional. You're the expert that can look at this information and be able to say, ooh, you answered this question in this way. This is what could happen because of that answer. And then you can counsel and be a consultant and a professional, an expert, excuse me, for your clients, allowing you to then step up the level of service you're providing, not being the putting your energy into collecting information, right? That's not where our energy is best spent. Our energy is best spent being able to look at this and provide counsel based on the information they've provided us. So once they have added their information here, they would click next and go into the next series of questions and go down through the process. If I click here, you can see there's all kinds of sections that they go through. And again, they're simple. You can see there's only one question here until they answer the question one way or another, and it's going to give them additional questions. And this one, less common events, there's only 3 questions. Unless they answer it one way or another, it's going to give them more guidance. So this is where the organizers in TaxDome become so valuable, because when you get to the next step, where you need to review all these documents, you have the information you need. So let's take a look at what that review process looks like. So I want to go back and just make sure, okay, I have that on. So what this looks like for you and your team, I am currently in the client account here for Jenny Fresh. And here's my organizers. When the organizer comes in, we're going to get notified that we've received that organizer. It's going to automatically notify the person responsible for reviewing the documents, making sure we have what we need, following up and getting any missing documents as we see fit. But when we click into this, we actually can see the answers that the client has provided, right? So you can see here, I can go in and I can copy this stuff straight out of here and paste it into my prep software. So that it's very smooth, very fast. And the other cool thing is we can mark these as reviewed. So if you have somebody going through and doing a review of the documents, creating your work papers for you, you can mark these as reviewed. If it's you yourself doing it, the nice thing is you can keep track of what you have or haven't looked at for a client. And you can then track this more easily and show only the stuff that has not been reviewed. So you're not spending your time being like, did I do my due diligence for this client? Oh, yes, I marked it done, so it is done. This is where we build efficiency. This is where we start gathering back those minutes per client that add up to hours each week, which add up to literal weeks in your year. Because what if you could get back 10 hours every week? What is that? Let me pull up my calculator. 10 hours every week. So 10, we'll say 50, because hopefully you're taking some vacation. If you're not, this is even more important. 500 hours divided by 60, that's 8. Oh, divided by 6. Oh, yeah. No, 500 hours divided by, my math is not mathing right now. 500 hours divided by, we'll do it by 5. By 40. Goodness gracious, I apologize. That's 12 and a half weeks. So 40-hour work weeks. You could get back 12 and a half weeks a year out of your time. Like, that is insane, right? And that's going to be your weekends. It's going to be your evenings that you're currently working. You get all of this back to decide what you want to do with it. Maybe it's increasing your client capacity. Maybe it's, spending more time with your family. Maybe it's taking vacations. Then these are the things that you get to decide once you get the systems in place. Because if you're a fully manual practice, this is massive. This is massive. All right, so that is the organizer. So that is first one, profit-driven efficiency. This is where you can increase your profit by increasing your revenue, by increasing your client capacity through systems that help you work smarter. The second shift that I want you to think about is having a practice that works for you. Now, very similar to what we just showed in the organizer, there are ways for you to start creating the practice you want. So in your vision, when you were thinking, what do I want 2025 to look like? It's probably working a whole lot less evenings and weekends. It's probably having your work get done during the work days and not having it be that you're meeting with clients all day, every day to get your return reviews or tracking clients down to do phone calls with them. That is a lot of effort and energy that you're putting out. What if we could shift that? And we have a process that we have in Workflows for Tax Pros that is starting to take over in the industry. And it's one that we've been able to fully automate and make so smooth and efficient for our practices. We have a lot of people that jump onto this, but it's called the return reveal process. And what this is this is an asynchronous return review process. So what this does is it allows you as the professional to provide your clients a comprehensive review of their return. So I pulled up just a blank return here, but I wanted to explain to you what this can look like. So what it is it's utilizing technology. So we love Loom. It's a software that's $10, maybe $15 a month, and it allows you to do a screen share of your computer. So you would pull up a redacted version of your client's forms, and you would walk them through like they were sitting across the desk from you. And you would tell them what was the outcome of their return. What this does is it does 3 things. Number 1, you get to educate your clients on their tax year. You're going to allow them to see how the return results were created, whether they got a refund, they owed something, whether they had a simple return or a complex return. Giving them this information is key because you are the professional, you are the expert. They are not experts. I can tell you, I have an accounting degree. I have an MBA. I took tax in college. I took tax in my MBA class. I still couldn't tell you when I received my return back from my client or my tax professional, if she didn't do these walkthroughs for me, I would definitely need to get on the phone with her. But that's taking an hour out of her day. And it doesn't help me because I'm probably like, if I get confused, I may not ask her to go back and tell me something again. I may feel like she said it 3 times and I still don't get it. But if I make a review video for her or for my client, they can go back and watch it as many times as they need to. They can go back and have it slow down. They can go back and speed it up. It's not going fast enough for them. It gives your clients control. The other thing it does is it opens up your calendar. The process of actually creating these return reviews, and I bet you could assess that this is what you are spending really in the hour session that you schedule with your clients. It's literally 10 minutes for a complex return, right? Like when you pull up the form, you're like, you made this much, you had these deductions, you had these, this payment, like this much tax was paid, therefore the outcome is this. That does not take long. But when you are meeting with someone and you're scheduling an hour or 30 minutes, you're having to prepare for that call before they walk in. You then have to be there. You have to do the niceties. You have to do the catch up on what's going on. And you're in the most stressful part of your year. And you're sitting around having niceties with your clients because you feel like you have to do that. That is not necessary to provide an excellent client experience. So I want to introduce this idea to you of the return reveal process and help you see that in addition to you offering the expertise and providing them the education around it, opening up your calendar, it's also going to provide a really great client experience because they're not having to schedule an appointment with you to get, to find a mutual time that works. You're not having to work evenings and weekends because I know that a lot of you are out doing your reviews all day long, and then you got to get the returns ready for the next batch of reviews. And so you're now working into the evenings and on the weekends to catch up and prepare for these scheduled appointments. That is probably not on your vision for 2025 for your business. So if you want to get this back, you can. Now, I want to show you one thing. There is in our program and in the organizer that we provide, we give you the option on dipping your toes into this. Give your clients the power to do this choice for you. And so what we've done is we've actually made it an option for the clients to pick. And so we're leaning into the automations of TaxDome, and we're letting our clients pick how they want to have our review of the first year. So if you're offering one-on-one sessions right now via Zoom, or if they're in person, you could let your clients make the choice this year. And then next year, you could go all in and be like, I had 50% of my clients do this Loom review, video review, and they loved it. I'm going all in on that, right? So you can kind of test it with your clients this first year. And we have this already baked into our automated workflows in TaxDome so that your pipelines move smoothly. And on here, it automates adding tags, and then it triggers automations further down the pipeline so that we can schedule these sessions with them without us having to do anything. Same thing with the Loom reviews. It will take them and have them queue up for the Loom review. So you can do that in step-by-step manner without skipping a beat. It's about the standardization. It's about the automation. It's about giving you the efficient tools to help you work smarter in your business. Now, the third shift I want you to think about is I want you to think about a seamless client experience that works for both of you. Because so many people go into automation and they think, oh my gosh, this is going to solve all my problems. I'm going to have my automation and it's going to make me work less, and my clients are going to have it's going to remind my clients automatically of things that are going on. It has to work for both of you. And we have several things that are built into our methods at Workflows for Tax Pros that I think I need to highlight for you today if you were thinking about automation. The first one is you can't just have it benefit you. You have to have your clients feeling informed, supported, feel like they're getting something from this. They need to feel the value of the services you provide. So when a lot of people go into automation, they're like, okay, I'm going to send out my engagement letter. I'm going to send out my kickoff email, and then I'm going to send out my organizer. And it's like throwing things at the clients, and the clients are like, I don't get this. And you're like, it's still not working. My clients still aren't completing the stuff. Because you have to breadcrumb your clients to success. This is a methodology that we have built throughout all of our workflows. And the way that we do this is we are not actually sending all of our stuff at once. When you send everything at once, it's the old way of doing things. Your clients are busy and they're not going to get all of the engagement letter signed, the invoice for your deposit paid, the organizer completed. That's not all going to happen at once. So what we can do is we can actually break up our process and streamline our clients and breadcrumb them to success so that each step of the process, we are sending communication. So you can see here, here, I am sending them a proposal. I'm sending them, and within the proposal, it's telling them exactly why I'm sending this to them, why it's important to them, why it's going to benefit them, and telling them exactly what I need them to do for me. So for example, with the engagement letter, we're sending them the engagement letter to let them know, like, hey, this is our contractual agreement so that you're protected, I'm protected. And we're also sending you the deposit because the deposit's important for you to show me that you're engaged into my process. And so when we're sending these things, we're making sure that we're instructing them. So I wrote down setting the expectations, providing them instructions on what they need to do right now, not what they need to do 5 steps from now, right now. And then the third piece is letting them know what to expect next. So I can say, if you don't sign the engagement letter and the deposit, we're not going to be able to start gathering your documents and therefore starting your return. So we need to get this back as quickly as we can. So we elicit urgency in our communications. And in our workflows, this is our Loom and paper review pipeline that I was sharing. This is one that will guide them and breadcrumb them to success. So that is really important to think about. The other thing that I want to share with you that is a really important client-facing success or feature of TaxDome is now they have client-facing results or statuses. Client-facing statuses. And what these client-facing statuses do is they show up in the client's portal. So I am now looking at Jenny Fresh's portal here. And you can see it shows the work in progress. So here's my tax prep 2024. My status is I'm currently gathering documents for my client, Jenny. And I can give her instructions to begin your tax return where you require engagement letter deposit and organizer to be completed. All documents must be received by March 15th. So again, this is just a very simple status reminder to my client. I can also, if I need to along the way, I'll show you how this works. I can go in here and I can update this later on. So if it's getting closer to that deadline and I need something specific from Jenny, maybe she has an outstanding organizer, I could come in here and be like, we are still needing your organizer. All documents must be received by the 15th. I can save this and go back to my client. If I refresh this, you'll see that it will update here. So I can make this, you can start calling things out, right? So if you are needing to send them an additional little note, I sent you a chat and I need you to do this. Maybe they're not seeing the green dot and they don't know what that means, or they miss the waiting for action section down here. These are the things that allow us to provide a more valuable service to our clients. It may feel like automation is going to pull the personalization out. No, it helps you be a better tax professional and an accountant for your clients. It allows you to not be spending your time nitpicking on reminders and things not getting done and feeling like you're always reactive. We get to be proactive once we start utilizing tools like TaxDome to help us provide a better client experience. And so this is where people start coming back to you. And we have so many examples of this, but clients coming back and they start sharing that, holy cow, like I'm loving this new level of communication. Sure, you have a few squeaky wheels that are like, this is too many emails. But 99.9% of your clients are going to love the improved communication. They're going to love the simplification of this complex process and sometimes scary process that they're having to go through with you year after year. This is going to give you that leg up in being their expert professional that is going to help them to see you as a more valuable resource in their world. You're no longer just the data collector who's sending off the forms. You are the tax professional. It's time for you to step into that for 2025. And these 3 shifts are really going to help you get there. So the first one is we've got our profit-driven efficiency, higher margins with less stress, implementing those automations so that you can start getting more efficient in gathering information, gathering documentation, sending automated reminders. I think I missed talking about that, but we can send automated reminders. So when we send that organizer out that we did, that I showed you, the system will automatically update them if it's not done in 6 days. It will ping them and be like, this organizer is outstanding. You can have it do that for 6 weeks until you're like roughly your due date of when the documents have to be in. And then we can elicit another communication plan that starts creating more urgency of, hey, March 15th is coming. I need your documents in order to be able to file by April 15th, or you're going to be put on extension. Communications within TaxDome are so simple. Bulk communicating to everybody that hasn't sent the organizer in, right? So we can start working on those kinds of things. When you join Workflows for Tax Pros, we can make sure that you have the exact steps that you need in order to prepare for tax season 2025. Then the next shift we had was a practice that works for you, not the other way around. Again, having the tool to be able to build a more sustainable business that will be with you for years and years to come. This investment into systems is important. And this will help you build a practice that works for you. A seamless client experience that works for you both. Again, it can't just be about the practice. It has to be about how we are serving our clients, how we are making sure that they are feeling supported by us as the professional, only because it allows us to stand out as a more valuable asset and resource to them, therefore allowing us to increase our prices confidently, even though we're technically working less and having it less stressful for us. We become a more valuable resource. All right, so I hope you found this valuable. I hope these 3 shifts are things that you will consider for 2025, because when you do, you're going to have next November, December, it's going to be a completely different game for you. You're going to be confident in how you use TaxDome. You're going to be confident in the use of automation in your practice. You're going to be confident in making operational shifts, like using the return reveal process or implementing our breadcrumbing communications and making sure that you're really thinking about how you're communicating with your clients, not only for tax preparation, but for every service that you offer within your small practice. You can automate all of those, even internal processes like filing your business licenses, right? Like those things can be automated as reminders too. So you're not waking up and thinking in the middle of the night, oh my gosh, I forgot to do that thing again. So 2025 can be peaceful, it can be profitable, it can feel good to you, and it can give you the business that you've dreamed of, and therefore the life that you are so excited to wake up to each and every day. And if you have questions or you are thinking about TaxDome, check below this video because we do have a link for getting 3 free months of TaxDome. We would love to provide you with our partner link so that you can get that little reward for signing up with us and go get a free trial, test it out, play with it, and then sign up for Workflows for Tax Pros. And we'll make sure that you have the exact steps you need in order to make 2025 your best year yet. All right. We wish you a beautiful day, and I will see you in our next training. Cheers.